Sure. I just wanted to add one bit. When you're looking at closing the data gap, uh, I always say is first we need to look at opening up more gaps, finding out what gaps are present that we're not looking at. Because sometimes when we get into the wave, we just hurry quickly to get onto the bandwagon and check all the boxes. And I need to have a diverse hiring and hire, as many diverse people as possible, which may not be something that your organization needs. We first need to understand what's the gap and go for it. I want to take an example of my own organization. It's a very small organization in terms of numbers. And I currently don't have the bandwidth to have a really diverse workforce. I cannot have, everyone from every culture, every race, have that kind of representation. I hope I reach that stage when I'm able to get everyone, but I'm not in that stage. But that does not stop me from having a very strong inclusive culture. So I may not have a diversity checklist, and I don't have the bandwidth right now to do that. But for inclusivity, nothing stops me. I could be a 2-member organization, it could be a 500,000 organization. Inclusivity is about imbibing the culture of having people speak up, hearing everyone's voice, understanding what people need to see. Everyone's important. Looking at empathy, looking at everyone, ideas matters. And and sometimes we look at areas that we all are programmed in unconscious biases. We are, and I'm just kind of listening to Lynette's example when she's talking about your women colleagues, we're all having babies. And that kind of triggered a moment when I was getting into a coaching call with a woman leader here in Sydney. And it so happened that her manager was a male manager, and he had like 8 women colleagues reporting into him. 5 of them were on maternity, either on break or moving that way in that progress. And he had just kind of joked like, everyone's having babies here. It's become a maternity ward. And he laughed about it. But for her, it was so big that the whole coaching session went with me in terms of what's going to happen when I come back from work. What did that statement mean? Is my job secure? And thought is sometimes we just use humor unintentionally, spreading microaggression or a toxic environment, which could be small, but it could kind of reverberate. And these are gaps when we talk about. It doesn't need to be really big gaps about what you said. Have you noticed impact? And it could be just my own style of humor or sarcasm that works for me in a social setup, may not work in an organization. Are we listening and are we sensitive to these gaps, which could be so subtle that may not be in a company policy or in my D&I
Mm.
culture, but has to start from me and me wanting to make a difference?